to you.
It's early in the day for courting, isn't it?
Who said I were courting?
Well, you're hoping for somebody more important than me, I can tell by your face, right?
Yeah, the postman.
Oh, it's the postman, eh?
Yeah, I'm waiting for my exam results.
Oh, so that's how it is. I know just how you feel, love.
I bet you don't.
Oh, I do. We've all had to go through it, you know. Well, most of us. Now, when I was in the army as a lad...
Have you seen him?
Well, I did pass him a few streets back, but I wouldn't like to give you an ETA.
What?
Estimated time of arrival, but I wouldn't put it less than half an hour. But you know what they say? A watch pot never boils.
Yeah, oh, well, I better go and get off to work. Not that I'll be able to concentrate.
No, we can't have that, Lucille. You know you can't beat a good long walk before breakfast for clearing the mind.
I've had my breakfast.
I've done a good 3 miles this morning, you know.
What for?
What for? Exercise, love, exercise.
More tea, anybody?
No, me. I reckon Ted could manage a cup as well.
I wouldn't mind if there's some going.
All right, I'll put some more water in this.
Hey, I can't rightly remember. Did you say that with your daughter's lad?
No, no. No, his brother married my niece. Mind that they were brought up next door, the Barlow lads. Mother was killed by a bus a few years back.
Nice young lad, isn't he?
Ah, he is that. He's a good lad too, is young David.
It's a young man's world these days, Albert.
Ah, you're right there. And they don't all like David, neither. Far as some of are concerned, when you get turned 60, you've got no right to be here.
Yeah, there are some Romans about and no mistake. Cheeky and all.
Yeah, well, they'll grow old themselves one day.
Aye, but they don't think about it when they're young, Albert. I know I didn't.
No. Now, Ted, did you ever hear what happened to Willie Watson?
Why, he's dead.
Huh?
I died about 10 years back. You, you knew he went back to Leeds, didn't you?
No, no, I haven't set eyes on him for, 30 years. Mind that, I knew he was a tyke. I mean, the road he used to go on about Brigade on a Saturday night.
Aye, well, Willie's lass married a fella from Leeds, you see. Well, when they returned, he went back to be near his grandkids. We were very fond of kids, were Willie.
I say, and they took him in?
Oh, no, he got himself a little terrace house in Hunslet. I went and stayed with him a day or two when he moved across.
He was a real character, weren't he? Sharp as a razor. You joined up together, didn't you?
Aye, we did that.
Yeah, let's see, 1915. I remember he come down to Labour to tell me you were off.
I went across to see him when he was in hospital. But you know, old snap had gone out of him. Ted, he said to me, he said, Ted, I don't want to do this place, he said. Well, I mean, what could I do? I tried mentioning it to his daughter, but she soon put me in my place.
They wouldn't have him in?
No. No, but I could see she got her problems, not that she didn't want him.
I remember her when she was a little lass. He thought the world of her, did Willie?
Mind you, they were very good to him in hospital. Oh, I could see that. I could see they were good to him. Anyway, just as I was leaving, he said to me, he says, I'm going to die, Ted, he says, in that Yorkshire twang of his. Umpire's made his decision, he says, just like that. Umpire's made his decision.
Yeah, he loved his cricket, did Willie? Hey, remember them games we used to play out rec? And it always seemed as though his back was as wide as a barn door.
I never saw him after that.
Ah, tea up.
Oh, well, I better get myself off after this.
Hey, don't start that again.
Nay, I just don't want you being bothered with that Mr. Charlesworth. He's a nice enough fella.
We're not going to bother with him at all. We've heard naught from him since he went into Rovers. I tell you, it's all blown over.
Oh, I wouldn't be too sure about that.
What do you know about it?
Well, it's his job, innit? He's not going to give in that easy.
It doesn't matter about giving in. All he needed was putting in his place.
Hey, it's a lot of bother.
Oh, give over, Ted. We're not going to have any more trouble from him.
Well, it's not him. It's our Mary and her husband. He's a great sticker is our Mary. Takes after her mother.
Yeah, from what I've heard, she doesn't.
Well, I know what you mean, Albert. But, you know, we all have his problems.
Is he in sight yet?
Not unless he's invisible, love.
Now, Lucille, dear, there's a very old saying. Yeah, I know. What's pot never boiled?
Precisely, and there's no need to rush, love. That clock is 10 minutes past. Mr. Walker put it on last night.
How did you know?
For a very simple reason, Jack. I saw you, and I wish you wouldn't. You know, love, I know you're anxious about the results, but you really will have to have some patience now, won't you?
Look, my whole life depends on this.
Oh, come, love, don't be so melodramatic.
Well, it does. I mean, I'll have to go back to school till Christmas and take them all again if I haven't passed.
And would that really be such a tragedy?
Would to me. I'd curl up and die.
Oh, come now, love, you must have a sense of proportion, otherwise you're going to be terribly disappointed.
You think I haven't passed, don't you?
Now, have I ever suggested anything of the kind?
Well, if I haven't, I'll...
You'll just have another go, right?
Yeah, I suppose so, but I don't...
And no buts either.
Come along, love, the clock may be fast, so it's time you were going.
Look, if it comes, will you say...
If it comes, it'll be waiting right here until you get back.
I told you I was going out tonight, didn't I?
It's know all about it, love.
Right, try.
Ta-ra, love. What are you looking so long-faced about?
You know, Jack, I can't help thinking that if she does pass, we may be involved in a great deal of trouble.
How do you make that out?
Well, when young girls go out to work, they get ideas. I'm not saying anything against Lucille, but it does happen.
Of course it happens. It happened with our Billy, it happened with our Joan, but we tackled it then, didn't we?
It's not the same, Jack. It's not the same when they're not your own. Oh, and I do wish you wouldn't.
You wish I wouldn't what? I'm putting it right, aren't I?
Look, we had a great deal of trouble, if you remember, with that very clock.
Now, look, Annie, I don't like mucking about with it any more than you do. But when that party comes from the commercial playing darts, 10 minutes makes all the difference. They clear off all nice and cheerful without me having to come out with any unpleasantness.
I haven't noticed any unpleasantness.
No, that's because I put the blooming clock on.
Oh, I do wish that postman would come.
You know what a big decision, Jerry, lad?
No, just thinking like.
How's the eye?
Oh, it's all right.
That'll teach you to stack timber properly, won't it,
No,
mate?
you and all.
Hey, you working?
No, I was just wondering what we could do to all sort of improve things like.
Improve things.
Well, yeah.
Improve what?
Well, things like I mean the business.
What's wrong with him?
Well, there's nothing wrong with it, Mr. Fairclough.
There's nothing
I
wrong
did
with
say-
it, but he wants improving, eh?
Well, it's just one or two ideas I had, that's
I
all.
don't know you, lad. You get a bit of power and you start tearing the place to pieces in
No,
time.
you got me all wrong, Mr. Fairclough.
Oh, shut up, I have no luck, Jerry boy. Let's get down to a bit of dull, old-fashioned routine graft, shall we? Hey, by the way, you all right for a bit of overtime tonight?
Yeah, of course I am.
You won't get paid for it, you know that, don't you?
Yeah, well, it stands to reason, don't it? I mean, it all comes back in business, don't it?
Let's hope so, eh? Let's hope for the best.
I think we ought to do a bit more than that, you know, Mr. Fairclough.
Oh, you do?
Ah, well, I think we ought to plan it more.
Plan it more.
Ah, well, I mean, well, now we're partners, we can have a bit of a chat about it, like. I mean, talk it over.
Right now?
Well, no, I mean, any time that's convenient for you,
Oh,
you know.
thank you very much. Yeah, Jerry, lad, if I start sounding like the boss from time to time, just put it down to habit, will you?
Aye.
Hey, Auntie's your first customer, and be nice to him, mate, because without fellas like him, we'd be out of business.
Oh, sorry, Len. I've just gone around for a bit of free advice.
Jerry, throw him out.
Yeah, no, look, I'm going around to a garage this afternoon, look at a car, and I wonder if you'd come with me, give me the once over, you know.
Well, I'm no expert, mate, am I? I mean, they robbed me when I bought that van.
Yeah, but you know a heck of a lot more about engines and that than I do.
You've taught me into it.
All right, see you about 5 o'clock then.
Right.
Right, cheerio.
Ta-ra.
Isn't it marvellous, eh? Fellas like him look down their noses on fellas like us, you know, when it comes to grey matter. When it comes down to brass tacks and a bit of the old nous, who do they come to, eh?
Oh, we're the salt of the earth, you and me, aren't we, Mr. Fairclough?
Dead right there, Jerry, lad. The salt of the flipping earth.
I'm sorry about this, Albert. She'd no call to go right into you. Can't think where she got her dress.
Yeah, from Charlesworth, most likely.
Why? I had forgotten about him.
You can read it if you want.
No, that's sooner not.
She says I'm sticking my nose in where it's not wanted. Any road, that's the gist of it.
She would. Mind you, I don't think it's as much her as him.
No, well, I reckon there's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other, if you ask me.
He's always thought I were a bit of a blot on landscape. I dare say I am to a fella like that, but what can I do?
Look, you're his wife's father. That's all he need know.
Yeah, I don't know, Albert. Anyway, I'm sorry about letter. I am. It's a bit embarrassing, is that?
Don't talk so silly. If anybody should be embarrassed, it's them.
Right, off to the club then. Everything all right?
But everything's all right. Why shouldn't it be?
Ah, great. Fine. Well, I'll see you both later.
Right.
Hey, Albert, I've just been thinking about this here letter.
Now, look, shut up about the letter. Otherwise, I'll be sorry I ever mentioned it.
No, but
you
I'd
know.
better go and see her. That's what I'd better do.
Now, what do you want to do that for?
Well, it'd be better. I'd be easier in my mind, you see.
Oh, well, you must. I suppose you must. But you know how things stand here, so you don't need to take any old buck from that quarter.
Well, I'm grateful, Albert. I am honest.
Oh, I'm only doing what should be done, and I'm glad to do it. In fact, I'm thankful I can do it.
You know, Albert, when I were in my prime, we had some bad times, and I took things very much as they come, but if anybody had told me that I should end up like this, well, I don't know what I should have done.
Do you know, I've looked high and low, and can I find it?
Find what, love?
The key.
Eh?
The key to the postcard. She has a sheet of paper that gives the meaning of all these. I'm sure she's deliberately hidden it.
Well, I suppose she's entitled to a little secret. Anyway, it looks a bit black to me.
Black?
Oh, look at all them notes, every blooming subject.
Oh, really, Jack, you silly man. Those are the grades, O-level. These are the marks here.
Oh.
And I must say I'm rather impressed. She seems to me to have done very well.
How do you make that out?
Well, I don't need to have a key, do I, to know that 9 is almost perfect. There's an 8, a 7. Oh, 3, 5 still.
How do you know it's not out of 100?
Oh, really, Jack, give the girl some credit. She may not be the world's most brilliant, but she certainly isn't a dunce. No. I think she deserves every encouragement. And I'm very glad that I gave so much time to her. It was a sacrifice. Still, it seems to have made a difference.
Oh, well, if you say so.
You know, Jack,
Huh?
I've always thought that that girl had natural ability, and this has proved me right. Now, just think, all she needs is advice and guidance. Just think of the future if she'd got somebody to lead her in the right direction.
Well, if you ask me, I think that certain someone had better wait until we know what we're talking about.
No, it's perfectly clear why it would be obvious to a child.
Oh.
Hello, Mr. Petty, the order.
I think you'll find it's all there.
Perhaps Mr. Petty can help. Lucille's examinations results have arrived, and Mr. Walker seems to distrust my interpretation.
Oh, I'm afraid I can't help you there, Mrs. Walker. I never reached that stage with Sandra. My fault, really. You know, always hopping about from one place to another. Too many schools, you know. Poor lass never had a chance, really. Afraid I can't help you there, but as far as a man's concerned, I don't think you can beat the army for education. I reckon Mr. Walker will bear me out there.
Eh?
Teaches a man to think for himself, eh, Mr. Walker?
Oh, aye. You know, I remember a passing out parade we had. 50 marks for the front, 50 for the back.
Oh, aye.
We stayed up half the night, boning us boots with them toothbrushes, you know.
Oh, I've done a bit of that in my time.
Next morning, 2 fellas walked out on the parade ground in boots. Well, talk about polish, I've never seen the like. They were called out as good examples. Only the funny part of it was, it weren't polish. They painted them with black lacquer. I reckon them 2 chaps had learned to think for themselves all right, eh?
Yes, that wasn't quite what I meant, Mr. Walker.
I know exactly what you meant, Mr. Petty.
Yes, right. Well, I think you'll find it's all correct. Good morning.
Thank
Good morning.
Really, Jack?
What's up?
Well, what did you want to tell Mr. Petty a silly story like that for? I could see you didn't like it.
Well, it happened.
That may be so. All the same, the impression you gave was that you sympathized with those men.
I did. I was one of them.
And, you not thought anything since then, Uncle Albert?
No, and I don't wonder either.
Well, I think it's just one of those things. You should be all right for about the next 20 years.
You trying to be funny?
Oh, no, not really. Ted out, is he?
Yeah, you're going to see that daughter of his.
Oh.
What do you mean, oh?
Well, oh. Casual acknowledgement of the fact I asked the question and you answered it.
Well, hey, I suppose you think you're on the side of the angels, eh?
Ah, well, that would depend on whose side the angels are on, wouldn't it? I don't recollect announcing any affiliation, though, actually. Oh, Uncle Albert, you know, you're developing into a right old agitator in your old age, aren't you?
Aye. Well, I've had a few years more experience than some I could mention. I reckon I've got a right to be listened to.
Of course you have.
And don't try to humour me. One thing I can't stand is folks trying to humour me.
Yeah, well, it's just not my day, is it? Ah, I'll answer the door. I find something wrong with that.
They're not coming in now.
Uncle Albert, Mr. Charles was to see you.
Well, why don't you ask before you show folks in?
Right, well, I'll just leave you to it then.
Well, here I am again, Mr. Tattle.
Yeah, so I see.
You'll be thinking I'm like the proverbial bad penny.
Yes, you're right there.
Yes, well, I'm sorry, but these things have a habit of developing, you know. There's an aspect of the situation I feel I didn't fully explore.
and that is your financial situation.
That's got naught to do with you.
I'm not asking for details, Mr. Tatlock. I just want to be absolutely sure you realize the extent of your obligations in this matter.
Yeah, well, I know what my obligations are, all right. I don't need anybody to tell me that.
Yes, possibly. No doubt you can manage quite well in the near future. But in, say, 5 years' time, what then, Mr. Tatlock? This arrangement you seem so set on seems very permanent to me.
I know what I'm at.
You know, I wonder if you really do.
Hey, up. What time do you make it, Mr. Fairclough?
I don't know, mate. I very seldom look at the clock myself.
Just thought I'd nip round to Rovers for half an hour.
You thought you'd nip round the Rovers for half an hour?
It coming.
Now, my heck is like, when I start the job, I finish it. I'll be another hour yet.
Right, well, I'll see you a bit later on when you've finished that. It's all right being your own boss, isn't it?
You've got a flipping cheek, you have.
Oh, what's up, Mr. Fairclough?
You thought you'd just knock off, just like that?
Well, yeah, I mean, why not?
You've got a lot to learn, Jacko. Look, how much time do you reckon we waste going from job to job?
Well, a fair bit, I suppose.
Yeah, and if we got it done first trip, that'd be money in our pockets, right?
Yeah, it sounds good business to me, does that?
He's either a nutter or his hard face, but why don't you put it into practice, then?
Well, what do you mean, Mr. Fairclough?
I mean that when you're doing a job, you finish it. Doesn't matter if it takes you 2 hours longer. You with me?
Aye.
Then why didn't you?
Well, I did. I finished it.
You what?
Oh, well, I thought to myself, Jerry, lad, you're working for yourself now. You better get this job finished today, I thought.
You finished it?
Aye. Well, you didn't think I hadn't, did you, Mr. Fairclough?
Did you just forget I ever said a word?
No, it was all dead right what you said, though. You carry on.
Hello? Hello, all right then.
Hey?
I'm ready. The car, remember?
Oh, yes.
Hey,
Ken.
Did you say anything?
Me? No, I didn't say nothing, Mr. Fairclough.
Excuse me a minute, Ken, lad. I won't be saying. Jerry, lad, there are certain aspects of business that I'd like to explain to you.
Oh, aye.
Now, when you're flogging a business like this, what's the main thing? I mean, apart from the tools and the stock and all that.
Let's see, there's the shed.
You're joking, of course.
Oh, aye. Oh, well, I see what you mean. You mean the goodwill, like?
Exactly, yeah, that's what I'm doing now. I'm not just going round there to have a look at a car. I'm creating goodwill between us and him, because when he wants a good job doing, he knows where to come, you see?
Yes, Mr. Fairclough.
Yeah, well, you get the point.
Yeah. Only I don't think you ought to leave that job till tomorrow, you know, Mr. Fairclough.
The flipping crow.
So if you've no objection, I'll just carry on and finish it off for you.
Look at that. Salt to the earth.
Oh, I don't know, Mr. Fairclough. I'll look at it like this. I mean, if I ever want to clear off early, I shall be able to ask you to do the same for me now, shan't I?
Has it come?
Has what come, love?
The result.
Aye, I'd forgotten it for the minute. Oh, come, hang on a second, will you? Annie, love, I've had me instructions.
How many subjects have I got?
Oh, well now.
Oh, it's bad in second.
Hey, steady on. I don't know whether it's good or bad. I couldn't rightly understand it, you see.
Here it is.
There we are.
Oh, I don't look, have I?
Of course you have, at least as I understand it.
Hey, I've got 5 subjects.
What did I tell you?
Congratulations, love.
You know, Lucille, you'll hardly believe it, but Mr. Walker thought that the noughts were marks.
Well, we can't all be clever, can we?
Hey, I didn't think I'd get science. I knew I'd get geography. Hey, isn't it smashing?
Well, hold on a bit, love. It's your Auntie Annie who's helped you most, you know.
Bless you, love. I'm very, very happy for you.
I can hardly believe it, you know.
You've done very, very well. Jack?
Hey? Oh.
Just a little present to celebrate from Mr. Walker and me, love. No need to open it yet.
Hey, what is it?
Half a bottle of scotch.
It's nothing of the kind. It's something to wear, something rather well, sophisticated.
Your dad asked me to give you this when you got the good news.
Wish you were here.
Yes, you must write and tell him straight away, love.
Why, and that's another thing. He's arranged for you to ring him up from here tonight, after 6, of course.
You didn't tell me.
I forgot.
Well, he'll be delighted anyway, and concepted too. You must tell them all about it, love, how well you've done, no false modesty.
I haven't had a look proper yet. I just saw them 5-5.
Yes, but you've got a 9. Now, I consider that excellent.
Oh, no, it's the other way around. 1 to 6 is a pass, and 7 to 9's a fail. 9's the worst thing you can get.
Oh, I see. Right, dear, well, come and tell me all about it while you open your little present, will you?
Huh. It's obvious to a child.
There, that's a bit brighter. You should have seen the colour of the water when I washed them. They're getting a bit worn and weary back
Yeah,
there.
well, aren't we all?
Ken tells me you had a visitor this morning.
Aye. Suppose he told you it were as well.
Oh, Uncle Albert, I do wish you wouldn't.
Wouldn't what?
Well, I get all sort of aggressive whenever we try to talk things over with you.
Talk things over? I'm not aware that anybody's trying to talk things over. Seems to me you've all made your minds up.
Well, we're only thinking of you.
Yes, well, I'm thinking of somebody else.
Oh, Uncle Albert, we're all very sorry for Ted, but sometimes it just isn't possible to do anything, well, practical.
Valerie, there were a chap in my unit at Vimy Ridge, and one of his mates got left behind after a raid. He didn't want to go back for him, but he did, and he got killed. I suppose that weren't practical either.
Yes, well, it's not quite the same, is it?
Isn't it? Look, I'll tell you something. I saw more loving kindness in the trenches than I ever have seen since. I know that you think I'm always on about it. Well, now you know why.
It's not as if nobody cared about him.
Seems to me that nobody does care about him. And you know, you'll grow old one day, young woman, and happen nobody'll care for you. And I'll tell you something else. You won't like it.
I'm back.
Hello, Ted.
I'll do your curtains upstairs next week. You sure there's nothing else?
No, thanks, I can manage.
Is this yours?
No.
No, not mine.
Oh, your visitor must have dropped it. Right, well, I'll pop in later.
Ta-da.
What about me, then?
What?
Your visitor?
No, it went Gasman.
Well, I've seen her.
Well, I don't suppose it's made much difference, has it?
No, she thinks I'm just being awkward. Oh, well, maybe I am.
Look, when she were a little lass, I reckon you used to look over her like a guardian angel. So it's a duty, that's what it is.
Oh, no, I think you're wrong there, Albert. No, it was never a duty. More of a pleasure. She's a lovely little lass. She thought there was nobody like her dad when she was a little lass.
Sorry I missed coffee out, Mrs. Walker.
That's perfectly all right, Mr. Petty. We can all make mistakes.
Hey, I rang you, Dad.
Oh, good. Was he pleased?
You were dead chuffed.
Ah, good. How are they all, love?
Oh, I forgot to ask. Oh, no, I'm just off to see Josie and Belle.
Right, don't be too late, love.
Take a bit of keeping up with, don't they? Too much rope, too early, some of them.
They need a very firm hand at that stage.
All this teenage rubbish, and it is rubbish, Mrs. Walker.
Mind you, I hesitate to be too critical.
Oh, I don't. Rubbish is what I think. Rubbish is what I say. If a few more did likewise, we might have a bit less of it, you know.
I must say I tend to agree. And, you know, I sometimes think that Mr. Walker is far too easygoing about these things.
Is he now? Well, you surprise me.
I rather pride myself on understanding the younger generation. But, of course, to understand is not necessarily to agree.
No, you're right, Mrs. Walker. You're absolutely right.
I often wish, I tell myself, how I wish that I could convey to them something of the charm of life as it was when we were young.
My father had a belt and he knew how to use it. Discipline, that's what they're short of.
Things were so tranquil in those days.
Oh, I've never forgotten that belt.
So leisurely and peaceful.
I wouldn't touch you with a barge pole. I'm not kidding you, mate. No.
Yeah, well, at least it was the same car at the front as it was at the back.
I wouldn't be too sure about that either. They're darn clever, these Chinese, you know. Hey, Nelson, did you finish that job?
Well, no, as a matter of fact, I didn't, Mr. Fairclough.
You didn't?
Well, no, you see, David come round like so, and said, are you going out at Rovers for a drink? And, well, I thought I were a bit hungry, and it's like Mr. Fairclough says. I mean, they'll be getting married in a bit, him and Irma, and they're bound to want quite a lot of work doing, so I thought, well, goodwill.
Jack did that one.
Hey, what the heck's that?
It's down there. It's collapsed. Look at this, look.
Good job, Roman. Something else, man.
Mind yourself.